everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to the Road to Grandmaster. This is the penultimate episode of Season 3, which I'm kind of looking forward to. I know you guys in North America, you're already started on the new patch and the new season. Had great fun actually there today, streaming just on my Smurf. Not up to ranked yet, but had a lot of fun playing with a bunch of viewers and followers of the Twitch channel, and what I do on solo as well. We had some great fun doing quick match and some fun games as I'm slowly, ever so slowly, leveling that account up. It takes a while, we don't have too much time. But yeah, in this video we're going to be on Sky Temple, and I will be playing Artanis in this game. I think you're going to really enjoy it. There's a fair few faces in here of sort of well-known EU players that I think you'll enjoy seeing in this one. We've got, Bad Benny from Team Expert is our team captain. I believe he is the tank player for that team. He's very good. I've actually saw him in quite a few games in the last couple of weeks of the season. Very, very good player. Very, very good indeed. Tix, actually, I didn't know before this game, but I was checking out some Open Division games yesterday, and I think he actually is on one of the very high-rated, very high-rated Open Division teams in EU. I don't know if that's still the case or what the story is there, but yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I think he did play very well in this game as well, and that would certainly indicate that that's the case. We got me, obviously, the worst player on the team, maybe. Then Undead, of course, very high-ranked GM as well. Been in a good few games, and Doggy, or Doge. I don't know, how do you pronounce that? Doggy or Doge? I don't know. But he's going to be rounding it out with, I think, Rhaegar. Over in the enemy team, of course, there's Grubby, which is going to be good fun for you guys. I know you like seeing him in action. This, I'm not going to pronounce this name right, but I know his name is Huge, is how you pronounce it. So, or Huge, I don't know. But I know his proper name is Jowe, which is pronounced, or no, it's not Huge, it's Yuva. I think Yuva is how that's pronounced. He is the coach for Team Misfits over in EU, which is pretty cool. And we've got Timeless X looking for team. A very famous Illidan player. I don't know if he plays Illidan in this game. Don't remember. But yeah, as you can see, they picked up the Greymane. They picked up Falstad. I was thinking of doing the last stand of pre-rework Arthas. One of my personal favorite heroes. A very good hero. But I switched at the very last millisecond to Artanis to do a bit of a swap over here. And I decided I'd rather play Artanis in this particular game. The theory with Arthas is that, he's pretty decent at soloing the temples. He's going to be pretty good against Greymane. I mean, he's got armor built in. He has a slow with Frozen Tempest. You get the attack speed slow. This is pre-rework Arthas now. The attack speed slow at level 13. That's built into his base kit, actually coming with the rework. I decided against it, though, in the end. I did a couple of games, or one or two games of, maybe one game of Arthas, pre-rework Arthas on stream. So those of you who are there caught that. Obviously a hero that I'm very much expecting to play in the next day or two, checking out the new rework. I'm very interested to see how it goes. But Arthas definitely an underrated hero before. Definitely underrated. I mean, we saw that, Team Dignitas, who won the Western Clash. Well, heck, they were running Arthas in loads of their games. They're very enamored with the hero, and hey, they won. So clearly there's quite a bit of data and yeah, just proof to back it up. So there you go. Anyway, Artanis should still be good. Why did I pick up Artanis here? What does he do in particular? He does a few things. Number one, he is a second frontliner, which should be pretty solid for our team. We'll have Medivh kind of backing us up with some of his Force of Will shields, which will enable us to be, even more aggressive and so on with him, and do some bigger, potentially, Artanis swaps. We could swap an enemy hero into our team, put ourselves in danger, but then be portaled out by Medivh. That's potentially an option. As well, on Sky Temple, amateur opponent. Very good Artanis level 1 talent. Makes your Twin Blades, your W attack, do massive bonus damage, 150% bonus damage to non-heroic targets. That will enable us to clear merc camps and do the objectives, the temples on Sky Temple, very easily by ourselves. We'll be a force to be reckoned with in terms of that. And then, of course, we bring Suppression Pulse at level 10, which will be great against Greymane, and then also would have worked out pretty well if they did decide to go for Timeless X, being on his infamous Illidan. Now, he's not being on infamous Illidan, he's on infamous Azmodan. In this case, so that Suppression Pulse not going to get too much value in this game. It's still okay against Zarya. It's okay against Falstad as well. definitely not bad against those heroes. That would be excellent against Greymane. We'll see how it turns out in this case. So yeah, our team comp rounded out with a Kel'Thuz and Rehgar. I think a little bit unusual. I wasn't expecting the Kel'Thuz myself. I was expecting something that would provide some kind of more consistent damage, right? Like maybe a Vala or something could have worked quite well. Obviously would be vulnerable with Medivh to back her up. Perhaps that would be in a good, consistent, Q-Bill Vala could have worked pretty well. But I don't know, like we'll see how the Kel'Thuz does in this game. I wouldn't have gone for it myself, but I haven't honestly played Kel'Thuz much since he got nerfed several times back in Season 2. He was like my most played hero, my highest win rate hero, I think, for Season 2 when he was, and even slightly after, he was considered to be very OP. And then I haven't played him too much since, but he is coming back into the meta a little bit. So thanks to Mene, I'd say, in part. I'm kind of interested to see how it goes. But yeah, level 1, amateur opponent, grabbed that. That, in my opinion, is the one that you really want to be grabbing. I think Artanis loses a lot of his value if you don't get this talent at level 1. It's kind of, I wouldn't even mind seeing it baked in some sense of like your W does double damage to minions and you just get that by default. That could be kind of cool. I just open up like the whole, mercenary and objective style playstyle for Artanis. Right here, looking for a swap onto Grubby. We get a fairly decent angle. Unfortunately, the Kel'Thuz stun misses, but Bad Benny en route as well. Gets a nice knockback, nice stun too. Rehgar Slowing Totem comes down as well, Lightning Shield doing plenty of damage, and we actually pick up the first blood on Grubby. Personally, something I hate about Zarya, I'm terrible at it. The whole, soaking tower shots to generate energy for Zarya. I'm always scared to do it, and that's why, right? That's why. Is because it's like you can put yourself so far out of position you get super duper punished. Yuva there, seeing what happened in mid lane, does not want that to happen to him, and he definitely sidesteps the phase prism. Not going to get caught by that. But yeah, there'll be plenty of attempts in this game. Plenty of attempts to try to get some picks. See, I'm looking for the old God swap here. Working with that, I was considering that Bad Benny might stun Zarya or knock her back. Didn't go for that in the end, was waiting for a better setup for the combo. That was actually pretty close though, I think, to being a Zarya swap. I mean, the ETC stun would have caught her out of position. Might have put ETC though out of position too, especially if I hadn't followed up on the swap. Maybe just kind of pushing the limits a bit too much for Hero League right there. Certainly at the start of the game. But I think it's worth a try nonetheless. Worth a try nonetheless. And yeah, at the moment, actually Medivh has been happy to solo lane up top, and he's actually been doing a fine old job against Falstad. I'm kind of surprised, but he's been doing great. And at this point now, we hit the first tempo phase. I'm going to transition much more into doing the temples as much as possible. Greymane is getting a very powerful push down bottom lane. You see pinging for help. That's definitely wise. I think it's not a great idea to leave him there alone. I mean, we could have been giving up this mid temple. It's not a problem. Basically, the first phase of temples, you're essentially expected to... You get some XP for killing the big guy, by the way, which is why I want to do that. But like, we're perfectly happy with losing this one. It's not a problem if we lose this mid temple. We got all the top temples so far. So yeah, we can take that win. It's kind of bad for us though to lose out damage on bottom. That's not ideal. Doggy over here soaking up a whole bunch of damage in the mid. Again, we got ETC top. It's just so hard to actually contest two temples like this early in the game. It's so hard, right? Because if Kel'Thuz is down bottom lane, ETC is on the top temple. We only have 3 heroes in that mid temple. Now the enemy team, they've got Grandmaster matching Kel'Thuz. They've got 4 heroes down left over. If they don't send anyone up to fight ETC, then they're fighting a 4v3 in middle, and they're going to win that fight. So that's basically the problem right there. So you don't really want to get involved in that sort of... It's bad business to get involved in. Lucio coming in pretty aggressively here. Gonna swap Zarya back with just not even using the God swap idea, which is Blade Dash into your Phase Prism. Just gonna run up and use just a default Phase Prism, just pull him back just that little bit and annoy him. Once again, we spot Falstad Hearthstoning, so just use our Blade Dash there to just interrupt him, slow him down and just annoy him. Gonna help Medivh now. I'm gonna take over top lane. Let Medivh roam, let Medivh start making big plays around the place. And I can do this. ETC calling for the Bruiser camp to be captured. I'd be happy to do that. Medivh is actually still in top lane, so I'm going to make my way down and start working on this, just pinging for someone to defend. And I'm just going to test out how this works. I like this actually, Bad Benny bringing that level of knowledge to the game that some of the rest of us may or may not have. I don't know, I can't speak for them. But like, I wouldn't be fully aware of how easily Rhaegar could do the siege camp, for example. But he's saying like, yeah, Rhaegar, you can solo that siege camp really easily. You'll do it quickly, safely, and free up the rest of us to soak and get us a pretty nice advantage. As you can see with Artanis, by the way, we're able to solo Bruiser camp very easily. It's really no problem at all. Talents that are somewhat feeding into this: Shield Surge at level 4. Again, my personal talent of choice here, which increases our shield overload by I think 80% when we're below 25% health. So that's kind of nice. It's going to help us out, you know, in the bigger team fights when we're very low on life, give us a surprising amount of tankiness. Obviously that didn't affect the Bruiser, sorry about that, but you could get followed through at 7, which would make you even better doing objectives. That could be a kind of nice pick on like a map like Battlefield of Eternity, where obviously, you know, a sort of damage build, Artanis can be pretty effective. So right, I completely messed that up. I completely messed up that whole play there. We had perfect opportunity to flip Zarya back in and get the kill on her. I was expecting too many jukes. I overthought the whole thing and then just ended up completely missing and screwing it up. It was a big, big fail. Now here we're going to swap Greymane back, slow him down. Easy peasy, nice kill. Zarya now has found herself in a rough spot. We're actually just going to burn her down through the shields. Rhaegar has a heal for himself. We get ourselves a couple of kills. Very nice. Looks like Medivh or someone killed Azmodan up in the top lane at the same time as all this was going on, so well played by them. And it's looking good for us so far. Now, the enemy team doesn't have a warrior, which you probably noticed I haven't mentioned properly yet. Well, they've got Zarya, but, you know, they don't have a tank. Like, they don't have a proper tank, which is certainly making it difficult for them, to say for sure. But, yeah, I was kind of frustrated with myself after missing that easy swap on the Zarya. I was like, oops, that was so easy. She was stunned by ETC, and I still didn't swap her. I don't know what I was waiting for. I was waiting to like blade dash swap her and make it really fancy, and it was so unnecessary, and we gave up a kill because of that. Luckily the bottom temple went in our favor, but still it was kind of derpy. Level 7, I went for Warp Sickness. I'm gonna go for a Phase Prism build in this game. I don't know if it turned out to be actually that useful, but yeah, Warp Sickness at 7 is a great talent. When we hit someone with our Phase Prism, it slows their movement speed by 35%, which is very significant for 4 seconds. You can see it there on the Azmodan a little bit now. He's super tanky though, so we're not even going to do too much to him. He walks out without too much trouble. But yeah, this is a nice little talent, and at level 13 coming up shortly, I'm going to combo that with Graviton Vortex, which makes our Phase Prism pull an additional enemy hero, so we can potentially swap up to 2 heroes, and also reduces the cooldown of it by 5 seconds. So we get more Phase Prisms off, they're more effective, we could potentially apply the Warp Sickness slow to 2 people. Greymane goes too far forwards, gets focused down, go for the flip. Actually got put off the flip because that was really interesting interaction there. I blade dashed towards the enemy team, then we got hit in the butt by Zarya's expulsion zone as we were blade dashing, which kind of slightly offset our blade dash and made it go not quite as far. It was so weird. So that totally put off our Phase Prism, unfortunately. Might have been a kill apart from that. Attempt to chase down Grubby here. Do catch him in the Phase Prism, fairly easy to land. Nice Q, actually, very good follow-up by the Kel'Thuz's, very well aimed by him. Overstep a little bit, the enemy team could punish, they decide against it though. Medivh may be in some trouble. No, he portals out, he's just fine. Look at the minimap right there. And yeah, we get ourselves a nice kill. But yeah, very well done by Kel'Thuz there, predicting that I was going to go for the swap, holding on to Flame Strike, then landing it perfectly on that Zarya, slowed down by Warp Sickness, our level 7 talent. You can see, basically, I think these are the things that Artanis brings to the team comp, right? He's not the best solo laner. He's okay. He's very good, though, at killing objectives with amateur opponents. So Battlefield of Eternity can be very strong on that one. He can also be very strong here on Sky Temple. You know, objectives where there's like a single strong thing for him to fight. The Guardians, the big Guardians on Sky Temple. The ones here and there. This is actually a pretty bad fight for us. Actually use Suppression Pulse to try to survive that. Very nicely done by the enemy team, but yeah, that was the sort of situation where there's not much we can do. Falset flies in. So I screwed this up. I should have just run away, just straight here. He gussed me into the corner. He's coming for blood. I use my Q to break his range. No, I'm going to go down. Tried to turn around and hit him with the Phase Prism in the end. But yeah, right there, got a little bit scared and paid a big price for it. If we just ran away just in a straight line after Falstad flew in, he didn't have enough knowledge actually. He didn't have enough map vision to go for it. Then he obviously realized once I started juking, he was like, oh yeah, well Artanis is juking, Artanis is scared. He doesn't have backup, otherwise he would have run straight away. So I'm actually not in trouble. Goes for the gust, very well done. I was able to pick us off with that. Oh well, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Now, there is another sort of build with Artanis I do like to go. I like to get, follow through at 7. Pretty nice. Extra damage. Good against Immortals again. Just extra damage output against objectives in particular. And even in the team fight too. Then you get Triple Strike at level 13. So your Twin Blades, your W, hits 3 times instead of twice. Gives it slightly longer cooldown, but it does ultimately add quite a bit of damage and even extra cooldown reduction on your shields. Remember, every basic attack you land reduces the cooldown of your passive shield by 4 seconds. So it can add up to quite a bit. Falstad going in, trying to make a play, gets kind of wrecked by the Medivh portals. Grubby just about surviving with a fraction of HP. Let's drop the beat, keeps him alive. Leyline Seal comes out though, actually somewhat de-synergizing with with my spell right there. Suppression pulse, but no matter. Greymane gets locked down, we flip him with Phase Prism, and once again getting, I think, pretty decent value out of Warp Sickness at level 7. The slow working out quite nicely. Went in trying to get that swap. That would have been really nice if we could hit a hero there. We could have swapped 2 in, slowed them both down, and maybe gotten an extra couple of kills. Didn't work out though, but it was worth trying to take. Bad Benny making some shot calls here, trying to work out how we can capitalize on Greymane's death. Looks like we're not going to be able to do too much. Falstad looking for a flank from the top as well as the Asmodancer D pushes bottom lane. We do have Mercs pushing in. The 2 bruiser camps clashing pretty much in the bang on middle of top, so it's not really a big issue for anyone. I'm very cautiously scouting this out. Don't know where the enemy team is. Know they're nearby. There's Falstad. That gives us some info to play with. The rest of our team is moving in. Gonna wait for them to appear before we make a move. Okay, here we go. Rhaegar has arrived. The rest of them are coming in too. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Can we get Grubby? I don't think so. He's gonna be able to get out. Actually get gusted in. Decent play. Smart enough for the enemy team. We popped through the portal, but a little bit too late. Look for the flip on Falstad, but he has barrel roll available and gets out of there without too much hassle. Gonna make our way down now and start attacking the Greymane, but we're all pretty low. She take another chunk of hits from the Asmodan and a very nice Falstad Q through the team. And at this stage, that's kind of going, damn. Asmodan is actually scaled enough at this point that he's actually hurting quite a lot. He took Taste for Blood, which I haven't seen in the longest time. That increases the damage of his Q every time he kills a minion. That's the idea with that. Yuva with a nice sidestep once again. Bad Benny almost taken out, gets saved in the end. Doggy's pretty low too. We're taking tons of damage here. Greymane in a lot of trouble, but Lucio drops the beat and keeps him alive. Grubby now slightly locked down. Once again, our attempts here to do some swaps and whatnot get kind of rudely interrupted by the expulsion zone. Falstad is going ham. We're trying to punish him a little bit, get blown back. Looking for Greymane, get him, pull him back, save ticks there on Medivh. He's out of mana and get ourselves a kill as well. We're all super low though, so this is looking pretty dodgy. Looks like we should be able to grab the very end of this temple, secure those final shots for us, for what that's worth. And look for a flip on Falstad. Once again, he barrel rolls away. It was fine. We didn't actually have enough mana for Phase Prism, so we don't even mind this time. Level 16, as you probably have noticed in these team fights, sorry I didn't mention it already, but Psionic Wound was the pickup for my talent here. The final strike of our Twin Blades will apply vulnerability, reducing a hero's armor by 25 for 2 seconds. So they're going to take 25% more damage whenever we hit them with Twin Blades. That comes up all the time. It's a 4-second cooldown. So every 4 seconds, we can make a hero vulnerable, take 25% more damage for 2 seconds. That's pretty damn good. Like that, in theory, that could be something like 50% uptime during a team fight, which is pretty fantastic. So that's one of the things we're going to be looking to do now later in the game. We've built very much a sort of teamwork dependent Artanis in this particular game. We've not gone for the more solo, I'm going to do damage myself build, which would be follow through, triple strike, and then Titan Killer, doing lots of damage ourselves. Instead, we've gone for like the team focused, I'm going to apply vulnerability, I'm going to slow people down with the Phase Prism, and just like set people up nicely for my team to follow up on and capitalize on. That's basically the theory there. Medivh steals away the Siege Giants. It does cost him his heroic, but it's always a fancy move. And here, the enemy team kind of caught in a bit of a wonky rotation. Potentially we could punish them in some way. Bad Betty making a nice shot call here to deep push and too hard. You can see just how hard that Q from Asmodan hits us. It hits very, very hard indeed. So that's something we definitely need to watch out for now. I was thinking of deep pushing here. Kelthus has gone top. We definitely want to do the Merc camps and get those going during this phase. Falstad actually coming in, trying to get a kill on the Kelthus. He might regret that as we start to collapse and capitalize on his positioning here. Nice work by the team. Actually, Mosh Pit being popped just to ensure we get this kill and therefore secure 2 temples for ourselves. Very well done. You can see Kelthus is low on life, but Rhaegar doing some nice heals. They're coming around for a flank as well. We're going to hop through here, just briefly anyway. Hop back through again. Greymane being focused down the other side. Nice portal plays by Medivh setting it up there. Kept the enemy team busy, kept them worried about a flank, and helped our team to isolate Greymane. Quite a subtle play right there. That placement on the portals and what they're able to do with it. But worked out very well. Worked out very, very well. I'm going to solo the top temple. Basically, no one's going to be coming up here. Whoops. No one's going to be coming up here. I was trying to readjust my chair and it fell off because I'm a noob. Yeah, top temple. No one's going to come near it. They're going to fight over mid temple if they're going to fight over anything. We see them coming if they try to fight over top. So I'm perfectly safe to just sit here and just beat this down using amateur opponent. It's absolutely no problem. As you can see, once we hit the threshold for shields, we just have constant shields on us and the things can do basically no damage. I think it's 75% life. Shields will activate. There we go. 75% life. They activate. We're basically invincible to this temple. We get the whole temple for our team. That should be another keep for us. Oh, not quite. In hindsight right now, I probably should suppression pulse that keep. Or I should look at the keep's HP and see. It might be worth actually using suppression pulse to try pick that off. Or just doing something. It'd be very much worth killing. I could even take the talent at level 20 for suppression pulse. And that would work out quite nicely. I think I grabbed Nexus Blades in this game. I'll confirm for you at the end. I didn't quite catch it there. Okay, Medivh goes in and he picks it off of the portal. No problem at all for him. Turns into a bird and is able to just simply walk away. So we do get the keep. Nicely spotted by him. Mosh Pit's up in 11 seconds. We can see that Asmodan is having to depush top. So potentially we could get some sort of play on here. Being relatively cautious as we move forwards. Don't want to overextend and get caught in a bad spot. We still have mercs to take. Now, even though we're up level 20, don't really want to force a fight too much on the enemy team's soil. I'm going to be much better off doing siege camps, bruiser camps, getting that sort of pressure around the map. Benny getting a little bit frustrated with the team, actually. This is not ideal, but we can deal with it. Just gonna grab all the siege camps, get those pushing. Just kind of have something for Asmodan to have to deal with, which will help us out, right? If he has to deal with siege camps, that's nice for us. That will keep him busy, keep him out of the fight. Maybe Falstad out of the fight, one of them anyway, which enable us to get a bit more of a map position, maybe make something happen. We'd love to take a boss, but we haven't had the opportunity quite yet. Take out the bruiser camp as well. Neither one's sure who's gonna take the regen globe. I'm just going to go straight to this top temple, and again, I'm going to solo this out. I actually like this call a lot from Bat Benny, saying, like, we can probably take this bruiser camp. Artanis cap top. So he actually wants me to go to capture top, and then the rest can maybe fight over the bruiser camp. It's kind of interesting here. I think we could have, like, just killed the bruiser camp and then we're gone back to top without losing too much time and had Bruiser still pushing in. I think that would have worked out pretty well. See, Medivh is keeping complete tabs on the enemy team. This temple is, of course, shooting that bottom keep. And that will be potentially the third and final keep down for us. Teammates are fighting, so we're going to keep an eye on that. Now throwing a suppression pulse down here, just help them live as long as possible. You can see ETC has just gone straight for core. He's going to start working that down. Which a big old fight happening down there. At this stage, I was like, should I leave and come help the team? I don't really know what I should do at this point. Should I come and leave, or should I just capture the temple, secure the final keep, and then, like, hell, even if we lose the fight, we'll still win the game, probably, because of how much pressure that's going to create. I decided to stay, and in the end, it did just about work out. Now with our team pushing in on core, and especially with Grubby dying on this Arya and the shields being down, now it's definitely the time to move in. But yeah, right there, I was like, I don't know what I should do. Should I just stay and capture this the top thing? If I do that, we definitely cannot lose the game, so there's that. But, like, can we still win the game? I don't know. False Start goes down as well. Suppression pulse just to ensure that Medivh will survive. Trying to grab the Lucio, no such luck. But we burn down the core too. One thing to note, you're pretty good at actually pushing structures and stuff as well with this Artanis build. Well, with Amateur Opponent in particular. He's done it top damage. Yeah, Rehgar gets top damage for our team, which is hilarious. Absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, he did it. Rehgar, MVP with top healer and top hero damage, which is kind of hilarious. So very well played by Doggy right there on the Rehgar. Kicking ass this game. Doing absolutely massive amounts of damage. The lack of warrior on the enemy team being a huge part of that. Just no CC to actually lock him down and punish him for being so aggressive, which is quite funny. But yeah, 47,000. There you go. There you go. I mean, I guess it was fairly safe for him for the most part. I mean, there's Falstad, there's Greymane, but like very difficult for Greymane to go in when we had so much CC ourselves, the ETC and the Kel'Thuz's CC. So Greymane's kind of scared off. Asmodan was split pushing for most of the game, as was I. And I mean, Lucio doesn't do much damage. Zarya only does damage. She's got energy. She doesn't have much lockdown either. So I guess Rehgar was just super free to be as aggressive as he wanted to be. And he took that opportunity, got top hero damage. And yeah, did a really good job. Very funny game, very interesting. And I thought it was interesting there at the end too. Kind of the questioning I was having was like, oh, should I stay and capture this temple? Or should I go join the team? If I go join the team, we might just dominantly win the team fight and just win the game right off of that. If I stay and take the temple, my team might lose the team fight. And yeah, we'll get the temple, we'll get the bottom keep, but it might actually put us behind when we could be winning just simply by me moving down. I wasn't super sure what to do. I kind of decided to stay in the end because I was like, alright, look, if my teammates die, the enemy team doesn't have level 20, they still have a lot of structures to get through. They got to deal with catapults in every single lane. I don't think they'll have enough to finish the game, even if they get like a couple of kills. I don't think they'll kill the whole team. I think I can actually stay and do this. And then, as you saw, kind of interesting that 3 of our teammates were fighting. I had the suppression pulse to help them out. ETC was kind of gesturing towards a back door, which drew Greymane away. So yeah, just really interesting sort of movements around the end of that sort of map. Very, very interesting. But it's a cool game, I thought. All the same, we beat Grubby, and this game actually put us 1 game away from hitting Grandmaster. That will be the next game I actually show you. I played a few games actually at the end of the season, and I'll fill you in on those at the end of the next video. But yeah, I thought an appropriate one to end off the road to Grandmaster for this season would be sort of the quote-unquote Grandmaster promotion game, the game that would make us Grandmaster if we were able to win it. We get enough points and be promoted the next day. That's what I decided to show you. It'll be interesting. You'll see a bit nervous, make a bunch of mistakes, but yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out later. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all next time for the final episode of Season 3 of the Road to Grandmaster. And then I'll catch you the next day, probably, for Episode 1 of 2017, Season 1. Plenty of stuff coming up to stay tuned for, so I'll catch you all then. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.